Oh yeah. Hey, did you guys have to pre-plant or whatever little plugs in the house beforehand?
You can if you want to get a head start on stuff. Like if you want, there's certain things you don't transplant. Like carrot, you're not going to plant a carrot inside and then try and transplant that because a carrot's a root thing. A tomato, you can plant that inside, and then you can get a head start before winter's over, and the thing will already be this big. And then you can carefully take it out there, make your little hole, and transplant it into the ground. And you can do that. We didn't do any of that this time. For this time, actually, we did square foot gardening. With 10 acres, I don't know why we did square foot gardening. It's usually for people like a back, like a patio. But we did we maximized a lot of space out of it. Next year, we'll probably do rows because one of the things I wanted to share was when you do a garden and you're susceptible to put up a fence before your garden starts blossoming because we lost tons of stuff in the time frame of when things started sprouting and rabbits found them before I could get enough time off of work to put up a nice fence around it.
The wild rabbits.
So put up a fence first. It's a good thing we learned.
I always wonder about when you're growing how to protect the plants from pesticides, like pests. I mean, do you have to worry about the bugs?
There's so many people. It depends on your area. So many people have so many different problems. I mean, people right down the street will have bugs and pests on your garden, and we didn't. We didn't have that.
Rotating is big. With this goes true with chickens and not so much bunnies because they're in a cage, but pigs and cows and different things. If you have the ability, and certainly with a garden, to not keep something on the same plot for too long, because what happens is bugs, disease, things, they get stronger in that area. The things eventually will get enough strength where they can affect your pig or your cow or your garden. And so like if you have a garden in this spot, I guess the thing is, I'm trying to say is you don't want to plant the same things in these same areas. You don't want to have tomatoes in this row
year after year after
year. If you can scrap it all once it's all harvested and mix it all in and then plant the other way if you have space, or even go to maybe if you're in a backyard, you've got to use that same plot, but rotate where you planted things.
And that'll make it less susceptible.
That'll help.
Can you put a different animal? Like, can you put the cows now in the pig corral and I mean, is that what you're saying too?
Well, with the pigs, we have moved the pigs several times.
Their whole corral?
Their whole corral.
Oh, really?
Okay, we give them about 6 months. And if you have the option, pigs are like the best rototiller gardener.
Yeah, did you use them for that?
Pigs are the greatest cultivator ever.
You need to move them within 4 days because in 4 days they've got that ground so rooted up and turned, that's when it's ready. You could leave it alone right there. But after a week, 2 weeks, a month, now they've made big areas, they've got wallows, the ground's hard.
Could you tether them or something to just do your garden?
Not
and
pigs,
then
you
bring them
can
back?
with goats, you can tether goats, but pigs are so powerful, it's insane how powerful they are. And so, I mean, what I was saying with rotating is, if you've got pigs in this section, move them after a few months or 6 months or a year, and what you'll do what you'll accomplish by doing that is the things that will naturally start breeding in the dirt, in the soil, where they go to the bathroom, where they eat, those bacteria, the parasites, those things will not have an opportunity to evolve to the point where they can cause any serious damage if you move that. And then that land can sit for a while. And the next, if you move them and 3 months later it's springtime and it's time to, get that ground all tilled up, that's pre-fertilized and it's ready to go and you can plant something there, but rotating things around as best as you can, whether it's just your garden or your different plots of animals, is a good idea because things naturally will become weak by sitting there on the same spot.
And that's how we get our commercial vegetables and fruits. They all have their farms, their huge commercial areas that they plow the land and plow the land year after year after year, and they plant the same thing year after year after year. And what do? Those like bugs and germs keep coming back, so they spray them with harder chemicals every single year,
hard, yeah,
just to produce the same amount of stuff.
It's just like beef. You watch the beef farmers that, again, we found this stuff out afterwards, but you watch this beef stuff where these animals from such a young age get pumped with so much grain, because grain will help them build weight faster. It's not, you know, they're a ruminant animal. They've got 4, you know, stomachs. They're meant to digest grass and stuff. They get so much grain that it makes them weak, so they give them steroids to help offset that and help them grow even faster. They give them so much steroids that it literally would kill them if they didn't give them medication. So they give them so much medication to offset the steroids that they're giving them, and then they slaughter them. And then you get, I remember telling Melissa, I said, okay, we got, you know, little things of rat poison or whatever. I said, imagine if the chickens went in and ate that rat poison. Would you want to go butcher the chicken and eat it? No way. But that's what happens with this whole steroid, antibiotic medication thing that goes on with the chicken and the pork and the meat. It's phenomenal. So you can have animals that are eating the vegetables that you grow. You feed them to your rabbits, and you're slaughtering your rabbits. You're eating that fresh meat. I mean, I have to think there's some benefits there. I mean, it just seems, you know. But I guess we're kind of on a time thing here. We're running out of it. So we didn't get into pigs. Obviously, you need, you know.
Maybe this is just 101.
So I guess what we were talking about, what was our big thing we wanted to kind of share was just
you can do it.
You can go forward.
Like you can do a little bit at a time.
Life comes at it with these things day by day, and so you have time to figure out what's working and what's not. Usually, do your homework, do your background. Don't go into it blind. But if you want to go get bunnies, don't think, oh, I'm going to go care for a bunny, and what am I going to do? How am I going to butcher it? How am I going to eat it? You know, are the kids going to be sad? Those things have a way of naturally taking shape where your kids learn what's going on and you feel good about it.
Are there any regrets? Would you ever go back? Because I think a lot of us sit here, I know I did, on the fence of, ooh, what if we don't like it? Or what if we go and then it's just this whatever? I know for myself, I can't imagine going back now. But what about you? I mean, do you feel like
you missed
no regrets?
No, and there's something about, it says this quote right here, and I must have written this because it says, we never had any real conscious drive to self-sufficiency. We had thought, like a lot of other people, that it'd be nice to grow our own vegetables, but living here in the country has altered our sense of values. We find that we no longer place the same importance on artifacts and gadgets as other people do. And it's so true. I guess I would say that is that we didn't have this drive towards, oh, we want to go up there and be weird and self-sufficient. But a couple months into being up there, I went down into Palm Desert to, like, you know, do my shopping, and I couldn't wait to, like, just get back to my lifestyle. It's peaceful. There's something about taking a hammer and a nail to wood and making something out of it and being so proud of your accomplishments. Like these chickens, oh, I built that nesting box and now they're in there making a nest and laying an egg. There's just something about the freedom and the peace of mind, and you're out in the open and your kids are learning. Oh our kids love it. They go out and they get dirty and they have a sense of where our place is in this world, and I don't have any regrets.
You have, I would say that if you do those things, it's got to be, it can't be because I want to make money from selling chicken eggs, or it can't be because because there will be instances where you're out in the rain or the snow and you're fixing some leaky thing, or you're trying to catch some animal that got out, and if that was your motivation, it'll not seem worthwhile, and it'll be difficult. But if it feels like there's just a, you know, for us it was just like a bug that bit us, and we had those chickens, and there was a chicken, and chickens flew in the pool. Like we were like, why did I get the chickens out of the pool? We had the pool and we had the chicken, and it was just like the pool became a waste of space, and the area where the chickens were became what we wanted to do. And so that drive made it really easy to be out there. And it seems like the only time we're building shelters is when it's like howling wind and snow and rain, but that's when we're out there doing it. And yeah, then it's totally worthwhile. I mean, I would hate to think about the circumstances that would mean we had to limit those things we take for granted or that we enjoy now, because it definitely seems all our friends think we're crazy. They're literally like wanting to like call and make sure we're.
They think we're crazy, but they want our eggs. They want us to raise a turkey for them for Thanksgiving. They want a little piglet. They want to go in on half the cow when we butcher it. So,
Thank you so much.
And I just want to say about all this, I never knew how to can in my whole entire life. I bought a book, and I looked online, and I just did it, and it was confusing, and I was calling people, but you come out with stuff, and you just do it. So,
Yeah.
Awesome. Very good. Thank